Hey, this is Michael Hass with Inner Circle University, and welcome to the AI Practice Lab. Now, most companies offer demos that have you sign up and hop on and take time to go through their product, things like that. Phil, it's always a pain trying to find a time that works in your schedule and theirs. With this demo approach, I wanted to eliminate all that so you can view this over and over again and have the ability to see it right away and whenever you're ready. So we're here on the home page for this demo right now. And as you can see, it says members up in the upper left-hand side of this. Now, one thing I want to show you, because I kind of fell victim to this, I hit this for a back button once, and then I was like, oh, where'd everything go? But if you just come back up here and hit that again, it all reappears in there. So now, if you are an LSP, um, this is just going to say member on it. If you're an agent, you're going to be able to see that when I come up here and click on this, I can switch to an admin view. And we'll go through a couple things on the admin view here in just a little bit. Okay. Now, we're going to start on this blue button here that says practice. Now, when I get into this blue button here for practice, I got role play and upload. We're going to start with the role play. This is where a lot of your role plays will live. And once you went through the whole system, it is going to go through and allow you the ability to come in here and you can just click on and choose any role play you want. Okay. Now you're going to understand these role plays a lot more once you have went through the My Learning section, which we're going to get to here in a minute. Okay, so this is where all the role plays live. This is where you can get in and choose conversations. Right now I have 10 clients built into this, or 10 prospects built into this. Eventually I'm going to have probably 100 or so, maybe 200 that are built in there. So you can always be practicing this. And the one thing with this AI that's incredible is I can do this other than price through assets, role play with Chris Miller. And because it's AI, it's not programmed on what to say. So it has some programming behind it, like what's Chris's background and how many vehicles does he have and what are those vehicles. And you're going to see that we have some PDF uploaded in here that you can download to follow along with that. But other than that, every time you do something with Chris, it could be completely different. So that's the beauty about AI and learning in this manner. Okay, so the second thing on this little toggle here is the upload piece of things. And we're in the role play right now, so I'm gonna actually hit a little back button here. See this. Okay, we're back into the home. We're going to go practice. We can go upload. So this is really interesting. So you can go to your phone system, download a call, upload it in here, and put it against one of the rubrics that we have built into this. And I'm just going to kind of show you this here, hopefully real quick, on things. Oh, I don't have one uploaded on this computer, so I apologize. But you can go through and do this upload, put it against the rubric that's going to be there to judge it. Takes about 2 minutes for the phone call to upload. Last one I did was about 40 minutes long, and then it takes about 2 to 3 minutes. So in total, about 5 minutes, and it will go through and analyze the phone call against what we're talking about here with the Insurance 360 or just a basic lead with liability talk path. And then it's going to give you how it's going to judge that call and tell you how they did against that. I can show you one of those here in a second. Like if I go to my recordings, this was the 30-minute one that was, do you believe when this comes up, it's going to say 39 minutes in here. And it brings us up. is $39.49. Speaker 2 was our person. Speaker 1 was somebody else, and then we got 52% on here, and it goes through the rubric on identifying pain points, and does a ton of analytics on this. So very powerful to be able to upload a 40-minute phone call, have it analyzed within 5 minutes, and then be able to get that to your staff on things. So pretty huge on here on things. So the next thing that we want to look at in here is going to be the My Learning area. And this is where your LSPs are going to start out and where they're going to live at first on things. So I have um, all the programs in here. If they're in sales, they're not going to have the customer service ones. If they're in customer service ones, they're not going to have the sales on here. Where you want to have them start is the Insurance 360. Whether they're doing the Insurance 360 right here for sales, we're going to hop into that one here in a second, or the Insurance 360 right here for customer service. So we're going to hop into the Insurance 360 for sales. We're going to say view program. Now this is the heart of the conversation. We've had somebody on the phone for 10 minutes. We've gathered all their information, and now we're going to ask a very important question other than price. What's important to you about your insurance? And then we're right into then getting into telling our client, our commitment statement, our client attraction story, and helping them find out what assets they need to protect on things. So in here, there's the workbook, there's the other than review a document, other than price through the assets, the actual full talk path on that. Here's the other than price technique. And then there's about 34 videos in here that just walk through how this all works. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to have is this document here, leads, and we can go through and download it, or which is what your LSP will do, but we're just going to go look at the file. What I've done is I've created the lead so the information is in there, just like if they got a lead that they need to go and look at. For them to call and sell to. So this is Mark Johnson. He's a busy price shopper family. We got Mark and Sarah. They have 2 kids, Ethan and Olivia. They have 2 vehicles here. Their living situation is a home that they own, and their home value is $425,000. Now, most insurance companies out there have some sort of practice area, and they can go actually put all this stuff in the practice area and actually do the quote so they get that real life on there. If your companies don't have the practice areas, then you're going to need to, they'll go through at that point and just have as real of a conversation as they can on things. So we're going to get back in here to the Insurance 360, view the program, and we're going to get into, we've went through all the videos, and now we're hopping into other than price through assets. Now this one's been done a couple times. This second one has not been done, so we can hit practice on this, or we can go back to practice again. So this is going to be Chris Miller in there. And what happens here is that this is going to be, again, that middle of the conversations. It's other than price through assets, and they get to just hit start. And as they hit, oh, hey, thanks for that information, Chris, on things. So I got that down. Now, before we go any further, other than price, what's important to you about your insurance? Oh, that is a very real thing, and I completely agree with you on that, and we hear that from a lot of our customers. So this can go through, that's going to probably be a 10 to 15 minute conversation. And then I'm going to hit save and view analytics. And then it's going to pop up over here. It has it all recorded. It went pretty quick because it was only 38 seconds long. The coaching then takes a minute or two to pop up, and then it's going to go through and assess what we've done. Now, so here we are back in the practice area. We were just looking at that Insurance 360 on things. The next one after the Insurance 360 is we're going to do the capture the prospect into a conversation. And so the capture the prospect into a conversation is the very beginning. The phone's going to ring and we're going to hear them talking on that. They're going to say hello. We're going to introduce ourselves and keep them on the phone. In this program here, we really go through and really talk about some of the key objections that we're going to get. Here's the Insurance 360 talk path through the qualifying questions. Hey, I don't have time. I didn't request a quote. We're going to learn how to handle some of the main ones in here that we get all the time, and then we just get into keeping them on the phone. So this beginner one takes 3 attempts or 80%. Once we get through all the beginners, we go to the intermediate level. So when it's all said and done, when you do all of these programs, you're going to end up having 135 conversations, and that is where the reps get in to where you get to learn this stuff. Okay, so the next one after capture is closing objections. That's where we learn how to close them, handle the objections at the end of a presentation. And then the last thing that we're going to do is get in ring to close. So that's the phone rings. We're taking them 30, 45 minutes all the way through closing them on this. Now, as an agency owner, my biggest thing was these guys had to get reps in. They had to get a ton of conversations in just to get good at what they do. That sometimes took 3, 4, 5, 6 months to get them there. Now we can get them there within a week or two just by all of these conversations they can have on this AI program. And I'm so excited to see how it's going to accelerate people from taking 5, 6 months to be a top sales rep to maybe 2 to 3 weeks to becoming a top sales rep. So that's going to be huge. So then we got the ring to close. Now for the customer service side of things, we have the Insurance 360 customer service, which is the middle of the conversation of a review. And then we have full insurance review. And then we have all our files in here. I put all the files into each of the programs, but if you needed to go get a file like the sales leads, you could come in here. So that right there is going to show the majority of what we have for the LSP. We do have the My Recordings area, have them keep every recording. Best practice, again, if we look at professional athletes, they're the best in what they do. They show up to the arena early before a game. They go out and have a half hour, 45 minutes, hour long warm up before they even play, and they're the best athletes in the world. Golfers show up and they go through a 45-minute to an hour routine just to get warmed up to play. If our reps aren't doing that on a daily basis, because their game time is once they start dialing and get somebody on the phone. They need those reps to stay fresh and learn. And I don't care if you're the top end salesperson, there's always something that you can get better at. Just like the professional athletes who are the best in the world at what they do, and they're practicing all the time, and they're warming up, and they're getting better all the time. And this is where that's going to be. Now, one thing that I do want to show on here is these 3 little dots. So if I come in here and click on this, I can share this. So a best practice would be a new rep, 2 or 3 a day shared with the agent. Somebody that is a long-term and a really good salesperson, maybe they're sharing their best of the week with the agent, just so that you can stay on top of it. And again, this should be a half hour to 45 minutes every single day that they're practicing so they're getting better on things. So that is pretty much everything on the LSP side of things. Now, if I come up here and I go to the admin view, this is where we're going to get the analytics. Okay, so on these analytics, we're just getting this program going out there, so it's not going to have a ton of analytics in here, but I can go to those programs and I can go through and I can say, hey, the Insurance 360, and this will be just the reps that you have. So this is just going to be your LSPs, and I can come down to here and see everybody in my organization, and I can see how many times each person did anything. So you can see in here, I've had 27 attempts on things, and I can click into somebody and find out how they're doing and what they're improving on, and see that on the graphs here. Average improvement score, 49.4% improvement since the beginning of the program. So of all the reps that are doing it. So that is huge. You can get into a specific goal and see, hey, how is my staff acknowledging the objection? And you can see that and build that out for all of your reps that are going to be down below in here, and how they're doing on each one. You can then get into the actual role plays. Maybe you guys are everybody's been through the program, they've done the 135, and now you're going to go have them just start doing in best practice is going to be, hey, these are the role plays I want you to do this week. So then you could grab those role plays and see how everybody's doing on it. So there's ways to look into everything. Now, as for people, when you sign up with the AI Practice Lab, what's going to then happen is we're going to assign the amount of seats that you purchased in here, and then you can just come into your members, and you're going to end up seeing that you have X amount of seats available. You're going to hit invite members, send emails to them so that they can sign up and have access to the AI Practice Lab. So really excited about this and seeing this just explode and helping everybody out there improve on what they can do and improve their talk paths, and really just that speed of getting somebody new to the end of where they're going to be at for starting to really produce. And instead of that taking several months, I see that just taking a few weeks on things. So excited for this. If anybody has questions, you can reach out to me anytime, Michael at innercircleu.com. That's Michael at innercircleu.com. Thank you so much.